Hey everyone, it's been a while since I made my last video, but I been busy during the summer, and here we go. I got some small tips for everyone. I know a lot of the students out there are transitioning from high school to college now. A lot of people already started about a month ago, or some started about a week ago. I'm still on vacation until the 19th, but I wanted to share something with you guys, and hopefully this will help you out. And there's some of the questions that I get asked a lot on Instagram or on Facebook, but here are some of the things. One thing, the first thing that I want to start off with is to make a small journal. Start writing down experiences that have touched you as you go along into your journey in medicine. I know for myself, I keep a small little journal and I write small things. So when I apply to medical schools and I have to write all those essays and describing different things that happened to me, why I've chosen to go into medicine, I have a lot to choose from and extract from all my writing. So one thing, like a small one, was one time when I was working as an EMT or getting my license for an EMT, a patient, fell down, but at the end, he was okay, he didn't need any medical attention, but, the firefighter saw that, he was still, a homeless individual, so, he gave him $20, he said, here, let's go. He took him inside the restaurant and paid for his dinner and make sure he was well off, so that just showed me that there, the compassion, and there's more than medicine than just the treatment, but also to treat the individual as a person. Second one for me was, I was shadowing a physician in internal medicine, and she had to reschedule an appointment for one of her patients, and her patient actually withhold treatment until she got back like 2 months later because she was going on pregnancy leave. So that just showed me that this doctor treated her patient so well that her patients would actually hold off in some medical treatment just to be seen by the same physician. Which, just to me it really showed me how you should be as a physician, and how to treat people to where they want you to come back. And treat them instead of someone else. Another thing is, a lot of people ask me about studying. I know a lot of people are taking chemistry or biology now, and they're saying, oh, I'm struggling, or how do I study? I always think it's always bad to ask people how to study. I mean, yeah, you could pick up certain habits from other individuals, but you need to figure out how you study, and that takes its effort on its own. I mean, you have to be able to go on and write down certain notes and just, learn how you yourself studies. Everyone studies a little different, so figure that out on your own. And also, people are saying, I'm struggling in chemistry, what do I do? It's not, like they want me to give them some kind of shortcut, and to be honest with you, there's no shortcut in science and in medicine. I mean, the thing is, you have to sit down and study for 15 hours at a time. I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Some people take, only 4 hours. Some people take, 5 hours. Myself, when I first started, I would take 12 to 15 hours, because this stuff doesn't come natural to me. I was in class and I would be like, what is the teacher talking about? Like, I didn't even know what the teacher said. I would be completely lost in class, and I would have to go home and read the book. Now, sometimes I would have to read the chapter 4 or 5 times to even understand half the sentences, and then I would have to rewrite my notes and rewrite those notes again and listen to my recorder. I mean, it's a process. I mean, so, people would be like, oh, I don't get it, I'm confused. Like, they want to give up. Like, if you're going to do that, come on, it's science. It's very difficult sometimes, and you just have to keep pushing through. Like I said, I'm not naturally gifted at any of this stuff, but I'm still, getting good grades and so forth. And so don't get discouraged if you don't get the stuff the first time, you keep getting the answers wrong. It just takes repetition and dedication, and you have to stay motivated. It is difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but it's the ones that aren't willing to give up that make it through to medical school. Next thing. A lot of people talk about, doing research and so forth and this and that, and to be honest with you, don't do something unless you're really inspired to make change, or really, just love that aspect of medicine or so forth. So I know people say, oh, I got to do research, I got to do research. Well, to be honest with you, you don't have to do research. If you don't love to do research, if you don't want to, publish papers to like make a difference in the community and so forth, and like you're really inspired, and I love those people, those researchers, man, I look up to those people. So I mean, if you're one of those, then go on, do as much research as you want. But if you just want to do research or stuff like that just to look good and to bulk up your resume, then I wouldn't do it. It's not like, okay, I'm right now with the UCR School of Medicine. I was with Dr. Raul Rice. He went to UCLA, and he ended up going to Harvard Medical School, and he did really well. He's an ER physician. He's in Congress now, and he got into Harvard and never one day in his life did research, not once. But he was passionate about helping the underserved community. So he did a lot of volunteer work and showed Harvard that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be out there in the community and making a difference, and that's how he got into med school. So don't think just because you don't have research you're not going to get into anywhere big. I mean, but if you love to do research, do it. Just do what you're passionate about. I also like to help the underserved community, so I volunteer at local elementary schools to tutor them. I do free health clinics. So go do what you're passionate. Don't waste your summer. Don't do things like that. I also do research myself, but I'm only doing research right now because I know that in the future I'm going to want to study chronic illnesses in our communities for the underserved people. And so I'm doing the lab work right now just to have a better experience in lab jargon and so forth. So when I do get into helping the underserved communities, I could do a research on the chronic illnesses that are affecting the people that I'm concerned the most with. And also I talked to someone from UCLA, and they were saying that when they were doing applications, there was a person that had 3 years of research, and there was a person that would actually sell hot dogs out in underserved communities, and just to pay for college and so forth. And they actually accepted the person selling hot dogs. She had good grades as well as the other person, but the person that was doing the research she could tell that that individual wasn't really into the research and was just doing it just to bulk up the resume. The person with the selling the hot dogs, she got into medical school. The other person didn't, because she was passionate about being out in the underserved community, paying for college, and being dedicated and showing that you're able to communicate with people of all types when you're out there selling stuff. So just comes to show that it is about what you're passionate about, not just to bulk up your resume. Next is there's this beautiful link, very inspirational. There's a movie, Patch Adams. I don't know if you probably heard of it, but there's also a link that this guy made a speech at the Mayo Clinic, and I feel like some of you guys should watch this video. It's really inspirational, and it's, like I said, truly beautiful. And if you really love medicine, this is something that you should look into. I'll share the link underneath there so you guys could have a look at that. Also, people are asking me, how do I get a mentor or so forth? And, there's no straight answer to how to get a mentor. The thing is, do one a course, and then just ask the person that's in charge of the class or whatever lab you want to do or whatever research to if you could help out, even if you're out there taking out the trash or something, just to be around them, but the thing is, always make sure you have a presence. Whatever class you're taking, make sure you're talking to them, communicating, make sure they know who you are. Go in there every other week and talk to them about questions that you have about the homework and how things are structured and stuff like that. And I talked to the mentor that I have now, that I took my first biology class here at the university, and she told me that when they first have students, that they kind of have to keep a distance from those students just to have don't have a conflict of interest during the class. Once the class is over, then they're able to maybe share a little more information with the students and so forth. So just make sure that your teacher knows who you are, and just get to know them a little bit and go from there. I mean, it's a little different from everywhere you go. Also, next thing is, it sucks, but try to aim for straight A's. Not A minuses or anything, or B's or B pluses. I mean, some people will get into medical school with B's and so forth, but those are some of the outliers and so forth. So, because it's not about being the smartest or so forth, but medical schools want to know that you're competent enough to pass their classes, and they don't want you to drop out because that makes their school look bad. So aim for straight A's. Surround yourself with individuals that just want to get straight A's. That because like I said, I have one time where I got a 92% in a class, and all my friends were like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you struggling? Or is there family issues going on?" I mean, they were concerned, literally thinking something was wrong with me. So surround yourself with people like that. Don't waste your time with other people that aren't at the same level as you are. Otherwise, you're going to slump down to their level, and of course, you don't want that. And the reason why I stress that out is because I go to different meetings now for medical schools, and every time I tell them, I'm out there volunteering, I'm doing this thing, I'm tutoring students, I'm an EMT, so forth, and they, at the end of the whole conversation, like, okay, well, that's all fine and dandy, but what's your GPA, and also, when are you taking your MCAT, because I want to know your score. So schools are just concerned with that aspect. It's important that you do get that, because it shows that you're competent enough to pass the classes, and then the other stuff will show what kind of person you are, the extra things that you do for school with leadership and different volunteer services and so forth, but you need to be competent enough to pass medical school. Next thing, the reason why I do these videos is to show that, it doesn't, like, it doesn't matter what your story is or how hard you've had it. That if you're willing to work hard, you could achieve anything you want. It's really how much you want to work towards something. Take myself for, I mean, this is my story, and I know people have other stories as well. But this is what I have. My parents were immigrants. My older brother was the first one to graduate high school. I was raised by a single mom. My dad was a migrant farm worker, picking vegetables growing up. I've always lived in poverty and food stamps. I still live on food stamps to this day. I'm getting my food stamps tomorrow so I could buy food because I don't have money to buy food or so forth. My parents' educations went up to junior high and that's it. They didn't even graduate high school. My first language was Spanish, and then until I was like 5 or 6, I started learning English. A high school GPA, my senior year, I had a 1.0 GPA. It's on my Instagram, you guys can see. And also my brothers, I don't have anybody in medicine. My younger brother is a year younger than me. He works at Home Depot. My older brother's a mechanic. No one in my family has even came close to becoming a nurse or a medical assistant or anything like that. But just comes to show that it doesn't matter what kind of obstacles you've had in your past. If you're willing to work towards something that you're passionate about, and you're willing to put in the time and effort, you're motivated, you're passionate, you want to make a difference in the community, you want to be someone to help others, medicine is the right thing to do. But just work towards your dreams and don't let anyone, in your journey you're going to have lots of people telling you can't do it, you can't do this, and trust me, I've had that myself. I had people telling me that I was too dumb to do anything, that I shouldn't be where I am at now and so forth, but I'm able to do well and so forth. So don't let people discourage you. There will be those people along the way, but just got to keep pushing towards your dream if this is what you're truly passionate about. Lastly is to follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram, and I post things there just to show you guys what you guys are should be doing, or if you're interested in stuff, and you can ask me questions on Instagram. So add me on Instagram. I'm on there constantly checking up on updates and so forth. So it's on Edgar's Edu, EDGARS EDU. I will post the link to that on the bottom and my account information and so forth. And really looking forward to meeting some of you guys. And if you do add me on there, just say something about that you're pre-med, because sometimes I had random people add me, but if you tell me you're from YouTube and so forth, I'll add you back, because I'm interested in to see how you guys are doing and so forth. And I think that's it's something cool. I like to see that. I like to see what you guys are passionate about and what you guys are active in and so forth. So I really like seeing those updates on Instagram and so forth, and seeing your story. That's it. I will make a video soon. Thank you for watching and taking your time off to watch the video. Thank you.